Hello, my name is Dennis, I'm from Germany, and American work culture shocked me as a German. So if you want to find out what are the points, what are the differences, you will find it out in this video, so have fun. So, we will watch this video, why American work culture is so fucked up. I don't have like negative opinion about American work culture. I know that there are differences, but I also respect the American system in this kind of, I'm not like somebody who say everything is bad or something. No. Yeah, many Europeans and Germans came to US to become rich. Yeah, to become a millionaire. This is what I connect with first instance with the American work culture.
It's supposed to be like this, according to John Maynard Keynes. Back in 1930, the famous economist predicted that by now we'd be chilling with 15-hour work weeks thanks to technology. We'd be so free, we'd have no idea what to do with all our spare time. Fast forward to today, and wow, did he get it wrong. Instead of more free time, we're more chained to the clock than ever.
Yeah, I just said burnout. Don't have another life, only work, 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 and sleep, and work, and sleep, sometimes to eat. Is this the sense of the life? I'm like thinking you should, of course, you should be able to work. If you want to work, you should have a work. It should be not like the only sense of the life.
Americans are working crazy long hours.
Yes, I know, I heard about that. Americans work a lot.
Juggling erratic schedules and constantly hustling just to make ends meet. It feels like our bosses hold all the cards, leading to sky-high levels of stress, burnout, and pure exhaustion. Think I'm exaggerating? Let's look at the numbers. According to the OECD, Americans work 1,811 hours a year. That's more than the UK at 1,532 and Germany at 1,341.
Oh, no, okay. You can see how many hours. Oh my god. In UK it's like still like high, but in Germany we are like have much more free time. Of course you get paid a little bit higher. You get higher salaries in the US. This is what I know.
Compared to Switzerland, we Americans work a whopping 7 weeks more each year.
Okay, 7 weeks more. It's maybe because if you count out the vacation days and public holidays, we have like kind of, I'm not sure if there are 7 or 10 public holidays in a year, additional to the 30-day vacation. Maybe this is like how these numbers came together with 7 weeks.
In corporate America, you're always one step away from the chopping block. It doesn't matter how good you are or what you've done before.
Yeah.
Unless you're nearing retirement, tenure means squat. You've got to prove you're hustling nonstop, because firings and layoffs are a dime a dozen. You need to stay in your boss's good graces, probably your boss's bosses too. How do you prove your worth? By showing off how many hours you're putting in. Remember that time George W. Bush walked into an Omaha diner and chatted with a waitress raising 3 kids on her own? You work 3 jobs, he said? Uniquely American, isn't it?
3 jobs. To be honest, this is very hard. I worked like, I have always like a main job, and I was like, at the same time I was in a school, and I did it like just like next after my work. And it was so hard because I don't have any free time. It was just like, and I'm just finished it now, and now I just have to work 8 hours a day, and it feels so, oh my god, I have so much time. And I can imagine if you have 3 jobs, how hard it has to be with 3 childs. Like, yeah, my respect that there are people that which are manage this kind of life. This is so crazy.
And that is fantastic that you're doing that. Sure, fantastic. If you consider burning out fantastic and very American. This results in a lot of wasted energy. Everyone's flailing around, burning out, when smart, efficient strokes would get us further. But here's the thing. People want to see hustle. You have to be constantly producing. It doesn't matter if the work is top-notch, just that it's done and out there. You could doggy
hustle. I mean, it's not always bad to have a day or a week where you work like a lot to reach your goals. If you have a dream in your head, like, oh, I will do this, I want to reach this, I want to be, I don't know, heck, it can be like I want to be a millionaire. It's absolutely fine, but you cannot do it for 10, 20 years without a break, in my eyes. Maybe you can do it, but the burnout risk is like kind of high.
Paddle for all anyone cares, as long as you're swimming all the time. So why are Americans working so much? It's a mix of our cultural roots, economic pressures, and a system that's pretty much broken. First off, there's this thing called the Protestant work ethic. It's this old school belief that hard work is a virtue and a sign of good character.
Okay, this is interesting because I never heard about this story, this backstory, and I love it to find out the backstory behind culture. Then I understand it better, why the people are doing it. If you have like generations which I grew up with, you need to work hard or you will be a bad person, or you are a lazy, a bad person, I don't know. If you have this mindset in a society, of course the people are trying to work more and hard. Yeah, this is going through a lot of generations. I think this is like the kind of the core of this.
Basically, if you're not working your butt off, you're not living right. This idea is so ingrained in us that slacking off feels like a moral failing. Then there's how companies operate. They're all about running lean and mean, squeezing every bit of work out of their employees to maximize profits. This work harder, not smarter mentality has seeped into our culture.
Harder, not smarter. I understand that a lot of companies are saying harder is better. I can just talk about Germany in this kind of, that we have like a small shift in the mindset of many companies, that they say, okay, it's better to have like 10 people for, I don't know, this kind of job, which are doing this job smart and efficient, and better than to have 50 and which are just working from morning to evening, but losing a lot of time with unnecessary processes.
Making it seem normal to always be on the grind. Economic pressures are a huge part of the picture too. Rent can easily eat up most of your paycheck. Healthcare costs are...
Yeah, rents are a big problem here because many people have rents. I'm also living in on a rent apartment, and if you have to pay the half of your salary for rent, this is quite of normal here in Germany, or a big amount from the salary.
Through the roof. And college? Forget about it. Student loans are a lifelong burden.
Yeah, study in US is like, yes, not everyone can pay the bill of the university.
Either work constantly or you can't afford to live. It's that simple. Think about those horror stories where companies give out Employee of the Month awards to people who work 90-hour weeks, then lay off others via PA announcements. In the US, you can get fired for no reason at all.
Yes, I also heard about it. It's like a kind of a joke that we say, like in US you can get fired because the boss have a bad mood, so he say you fired and go home. This is one of big differences between Germany and US, that in Germany you cannot just be fired without a reason. If you are in a it calls Probezeit, it's like a testing time, you can get fired, yes, but after this 3 months you have a normally, I just talk about normal cases, you have a contract where they need to have valid reasons. So for example, you steal something, or you behave very bad to the colleagues, that you, I don't know, offend them, then you can get fired. Yes.
Security is a joke. We're taught to believe that if you aren't working non-stop, you're failing. And let's talk about social safety nets, or the lack thereof. Unlike many European countries, we don't have universal healthcare or free college.
Yeah, universal healthcare, yeah. I mean, I pay every month from my salary. I have to pay like a part of my money is going for the healthcare and for the insurances and everything else, because I need to have it. I don't have a choice, I need to have it. Most of the European countries have this kind of system. And in US, it's like not necessary to have it, as I know. But you get bigger salaries, so you can pay it for yourself. These are just 2 different systems. I don't want to judge about the system.
Your job is your lifeline for these essentials. So you can't afford to lose it, which means working even more to keep it. Low wages force many to juggle 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet. Even those with decent salaries often work 60+ hours a week to prove they're valuable.
60 hours. Oh my god, this is so huge. I mean, I also worked once so long when I was in the school and at the same time at work, but it's not like 60 hours. It's huge. This is very hard. Yeah.
It's not just about being a hard worker, it's about surviving in a system that prioritizes profits over people. The American dream is an excellent ploy to make Americans work hard.
I connected with something positive because the American dream is something good. It's made the country big and very wealthy. I don't know how it is today, to be honest, but in the past I remember a lot of times, even 20 years ago, it was still like real. So
The promise of a comfortable life is the lure. It may
yeah.
come to some Americans and not to others. The mistake Americans make is to assume it will come inevitably, as long as they work hard, and the wealthy keep laughing. Growing up in poverty, many buy into the propaganda that if they get a college education and work a lot of hours, 65 a week, they would somehow reach the hallowed streets of the middle class. They go on to do this, then collapse in total burnout after some years.
Yes, 60 hours a week, to be honest, I would also get a burnout, I think. Tell me if I'm wrong, if you are maybe working so long and you're fine with it. Tell me in the comments.
Only to rapidly slide back into poverty at age 50, with no significant retirement savings. What a tragedy! American workers generally don't fight for our working rights. We take what is given to us. The decline of labor unions has led to less paid time off and other leave benefits. The US has the third lowest trade union participation rate.
Oh yeah, the labor unions in Europe are very strong, especially in the northern countries.
Of OECD countries on record, at just 9.9% of the workforce. That rate has been trending downward for decades. Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Iceland are all over 50% unionized.
Oh my god, this is so huge, but it kind of works there, so yeah.
American culture values money over everything else. We love money.
Yeah, I would say yes. If you say no, then tell me why.
And the more we work, the more we get paid. Or so the theory goes. It's been drilled into our heads that we are lazy compared to emerging market counterpart workers in India, Mexico, China, and other parts of Asia.
Yeah, China or India or especially Japan, South Korea, they are working like also crazy. We are always seeing us as Europeans like that they are like workaholics.
Is our mental image of the work environments in those locales. To validate those fears, our jobs are being outsourced to cheap labor in those countries. In reality, the US trails only a handful of countries in productivity per worker per country. For most Americans, work-life balance is pretty much a myth. We seem to take pride in always being on when it comes to work.
Some Americans come to Europe because they say work-life balance. This is the reason.
Got an email at 9 p.m.? Better reply. A client in Asia wants to meet at midnight. No problem. We just can't say no to our bosses and customers. This creates crazy expectations. Sure, customers love a company that's always available, but this forces other companies to adopt the same always-on mentality. The result? Overburdened employees who eventually burn out. One of the worst work practices Americans have, according to foreigners, is the habit of sending and answering emails after work hours.
Yes, still, even if you are home with your low time which you have at home, you're answering the emails, the mobile phone call, and you're still like in your work in the head. And this is like also like a problem also in Europe.
For example, France even enacted a law allowing employees to ignore work-related emails.
Yes, I heard about it. It makes sense, and I would say that this is like good protection for the workers because your free time is your free time and not the time of the company. You should go out, you should have free time fun and not thinking about work.
To them, Americans never stop working. Even during work hours, Americans have some odd habits.
This sentence brings everything together in this video.
Studies show that taking breaks helps increase creativity.
Yes, I can definitely confirm it. Making breaks. After a break, I'm much more fresh. I can focus better. I can concentrate myself better. And when I eat something from my lunch break, I'm a little bit getting a little bit more calm.
Most companies offer around 2 weeks of paid leave, and employees only take 54% of it.
Oh, so 1 week. That's crazy. I mean, in Germany, we have 30 days. Of course, some people have like 27, 26. It's like the minimum, I think. You can also have more, but generally have 30 days. So, and and you need to take them. You cannot say that you don't want to take them. This is not allowed in Germany. Hear about that in US, like you have just these 2 weeks or 1 week if you just take one. This is hard. This is very hard. I would really be interested. What do you think about this? If you are say this is your culture, and of course people need to respect it. I don't judge about it, but in my eyes it looks very hard.
It doesn't have to be this way. It's okay to ask for fewer hours, take a week-long vacation, work remotely, or take unpaid leave to raise a child. Don't let life pass you by.
Yes, and this is the very important and finishing point of the video, of my video. What do you think about this topic? Because I'm really interested in it. Tell me your opinion, write me in the comments, and we will see us in the next video. So have a nice day. Bye bye.